pillars of Oklahoma's economy based upon agriculture. And in exactly 2 weeks from today, you will see State Question 777 on your ballot. It's become known as the Right to Farm bill, and it is promising to protect the rights to farm and to ranch. It's an amendment that would grant farmers A, the right to make use of agricultural technology, B, the right to use livestock procedures, and then C, the right to make use of ranching practices. Also, no future law can interfere with these rights unless the law is justified by a compelling state interest. So, joining us now, we have Roy Lee Lindsay, who is the executive director of the Oklahoma Pork Council.
Morning.
And then you're a proponent of 777,
Yes,
I should add. And then in opposition, we have former Oklahoma Attorney General Drew Edmondson. You are in opposition to this state question.
That's correct.
Thank you both so much for being with us here today. I do have to say, a lot of people at home really scratching their heads over this state question, trying to make sense of it all. And Roy Lee, I do want to start with you. I was watching TV the other day, saw a commercial for this. A farmer who was in opposition saying, the right to farm, I already have the right to farm. Can you put this in layman's terms for us and tell us why you were voting yes, why this is so important?
What we've seen across the country is we've seen a number of cases where out-of-state activists have come into states and said, we think we know better how you ought to farm and ranch, how you ought to produce the food and fiber for your state, for your country, than you do. And these aren't folks that live in Oklahoma. They're folks that maybe live in Washington, very active in the animal rights, environmental
this
activist
would be like
community.
PETA, or somebody,
PETA,
okay.
HSUS, Humane Society of the United States. And they think they know better how we ought to raise animals, how we ought to care for our animals every day. And their ultimate goal is to take meat off your plate, take proteins off your plate. So they want to raise the cost, so their job or their goal is to make it more difficult for us to raise animals, more difficult for us to put bacon on your plate for breakfast, a pork chop on your plate at lunch, or a steak at dinner, whatever it may be. And they want to do that by passing laws that really have nothing to do with food safety, have nothing to do with animal care, but just drive up cost. And so Right to Farm will protect us from those kinds of intrusions.
Okay, so you're saying let us, as the farmers, the ranchers, let us make those decisions for ourselves. Drew, I do want to give you the chance to respond here because I know that you are in opposition. And in fact, a lot of people who are opposed to 777, this has become known as the Right to Harm bill.
We call it the right to harm because of the barrier it puts in front of any future regulation, statutes, or votes of the people. 777 is a solution looking for a problem. Nothing has happened in the state of Oklahoma to justify this kind of a barrier. We do have the right to farm. It's protected by statute. It's in our history. It's lasted forever. A recent publication of the Farm Bureau shows that 70 out of 101 House members have 100% voting records, anything the Farm Bureau wants. 47 out of 48 of our state senators have 100% voting records for the Farm Bureau. We're very supportive of agriculture, but what this does, and we're mainly concerned about the large animal operations, the huge hog farms, the huge poultry operations, what it does is put a barrier in front of any future regulation of those industries. It puts it in our Bill of Rights, along with our right to go to church of our choice, our right to vote, freedom of the press. These are fundamental rights that require a compelling state interest to regulate, and they're wanting to give that same protection to an industry, to a business.
Yeah, and I do want to kind of hop on that point that you're making there. A lot of people saying that this is misleading. It might give too much power to big agriculture, big farms. It would give constitutional exceptions outside of our Constitution. If this passes, does that give too much power to the farmer himself? And if so, how and why?
We certainly would say no. I think when you look at what the legislature still is allowed to do, if Attorney General Scott Pruitt has said last week that nothing in this, even the compelling state interest language, would prohibit the state from protecting the environment, from protecting water quality. What it says is that they have to do it in the least restrictive manner possible. And I think everyone in Oklahoma believes that regulations ought to be done in the least restrictive manner possible. But no, this doesn't give a blanket immunity from regulations. That's just it's just the other side trying to confuse the issue. This protects farmers of all sizes and all shapes. And when you look at the groups that are supporting this, from the Oklahoma Farm Bureau to the Oklahoma Cattlemen's, the Pork Council, to the wheat growers, the Cotton Council. These are individual family farmers. These are the folks that get up every morning and will go out, take care of their animals, take care of their crops to make sure that you have the food and the fiber you need to survive. They're your neighbors. They're your friends. You've known them all your life. And I think most folks believe those people do a good job, and we do too, and that's why we're asking you to vote yes.
But I do want to get back to this compelling state interest. You know, it says no future law can interfere with a farm's practices unless justified by a compelling state interest. Who is that? And who would that be to come out in the future and say, you know what, that's unethical, that can't happen anymore? Who would that be?
It's going to be judges.
Okay.
Compelling state interest is the highest burden you can put on legislation. It is what's reserved for fundamental rights, fundamental protections in the Constitution. And they're putting that burden in front of any regulation of farming. So sure, the legislature can pass a bill. The city of Oklahoma City can pass an ordinance. The Department of Agriculture could adopt a regulation. And if it gets challenged, then it'd be courts deciding whether it meets a compelling state interest.
Okay.
So if we want our agricultural policy determined by judges and not by legislators and not by the people, then vote for 777.
And want to ask just kind of, how does this affect the consumer, the people watching now who aren't farmers or not from ranching families? How, myself, let's say, how will this affect me? Does it affect, you know, prices that you pay at the grocery store eventually? What are people going to see if this were to be given a yes come
Sure.
November 8th?
What we've seen across the country and other places, and California is a great example. In California, they adopted a law that mandated that all eggs must be produced in a certain fashion to be sold in California. And it was an animal care practice, or they claimed it to be an animal care practice. How big does the cage have to be for a hen? And what we've seen in California is the price of eggs have gone up significantly. According to Bloomberg, the price of eggs in California, without this language mandating how the eggs are produced. Quite simply, what you'll see if these activist groups have their way is food prices will go up at the grocery store. When you walk in the grocery store today, walk through the egg aisle, you're going to see conventionally produced eggs, organic eggs, cage-free eggs, and they're going to be $1, $2, $4 a dozen. You get to choose today. You vote with your pocketbook every time you walk through the supermarket. If you want cage-free eggs, pay for them, and we'll raise them. What the activists on the other side of this question want is they want to take away conventionally produced eggs. They want to take away your choices at the grocery store. So if you like consumer choice, then you're in favor of 777.
And Drew, what do you say to this? Do you think this is detrimental to not just the farmers and ranchers, but to consumers?
Well, you're still going to have all the consumer choices, whether 777 passes or fails. All of those options will be available to you in the supermarket. The price of eggs went up in California in 2015 because of bird flu. They went up everywhere across the country. In 2016, the price of eggs in California are so low that the Secretary of Agriculture of that state is concerned that egg producers aren't making enough money off the sale of eggs to buy feed for their chickens. So it's not a consumer issue, it is a pocketbook issue. Because if we're not able to regulate what's going on, what's going into our water off the huge hog farms and poultry farms, then the cost of treating that water is going to go up significantly.